and then we'll get going. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, here we go. This has been like 2 weeks in the making, by the way, Jax, because I thought I was supposed to talk to you last week.
What happened?
And we had the dates wrong, I guess. So I'm
No!
glad you're here today.
We did it.
Yes.
We're out here.
It's Lo with Jax on the Lo Show. Super excited to chat with you. I have so many questions. I love you so much. You're just a ray of sunshine.
Oh, man.
But
Thanks.
first, I just want to say congratulations on everything so far. And girl, I mean, you are just on like a rocket ship right now. How are you feeling?
The rocket ship. Oh man. I'm a little tired because a lot of travel right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I'm on like an Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore kick where I watch all their movies on the plane, and I am so more than bubbly inside. This is like the coolest thing as a songwriter to ever experience. Your song on the radio is like your actual dream, and the craziest part is like I'm getting to see all these amazing videos and hear all these amazing stories just out of like a 3-minute thing that I wrote. So it's like, it's just awesome. Like, it's just so awesome. My parents are losing their mind. Like,
I bet.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but it's amazing. It's like a lot to process, but it's so freaking cool. Like, this is just like the actual songwriting dream. So,
and it's the dream. Yeah, I'm so happy for you because I can tell that it's just like it's it's a little overwhelming, but it's good. It's like a good overwhelming feeling,
you can't
right?
ever ask for anything more. I do think like after a certain point, right, like it really stops becoming about the like numbers, and it starts to become like, oh my gosh, like this was my dream to write songs, and other people would connect with them, and like it would help in some way, and people could relate to something, and that's just like such a crazy feat because when you write a song, you're like, you hope, right? You're like, fingers crossed, maybe this is just me, right?
Yeah.
It's just your own personal testimony, your story. And then if people do connect, that's actually the reason you make art. So it's freaking wild.
It's so awesome. Well,
we're
so glad to have you on the show. We're obviously celebrating, the success so far of your latest single, Victoria's Secret, which has such an awesome background story, but also, an awesome meaning. And, I'm sure at this point, everybody's pretty familiar about, how the song came about. It's the girl that you babysat. She was getting bullied and you're like, you know what? No. We're gonna put a stop to that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, write a song for my millions of followers on TikTok, and it's gonna go viral, and you're gonna be the coolest girl at school now.
That's actually, she's got to be the most popular. And it's funny, like when a day after we posted that video together, she went off to sleepaway camp. So she had no idea, like her face was just on the news and stuff like that. It was like, can the counselor tell her? Can somebody tell her? And then like she started hearing the song at camp, and she was like, wait a second, that was the like, yeah, no, she's freaking cool. Like at this point, I started babysitting her before the quarantine just to like pay for groceries, right?
Sure, yeah.
Then like during the quarantine, things got crazy on TikTok. And then when I came back to LA, because I was staying with my parents in New York, came back to LA, she was like, my friends don't believe when I keep saying my babysitter is TikTok famous, like they don't believe me. And I'm like, well, come over, we could just write a song about it and like post it. And then from that point on, Chelsea and I have like, her mom dropped us off in my new babysitting gig, basically like TikToking and eating candy and like while her mom gets to take a break.
I love it.
And we just write songs together and post it. So.
That's so cool. And it's a cool way, she's gonna obviously remember this for the rest of her life. But the song has been so positive for so many people. I know the intention was to make her feel good, but now that it's such a cultural phenomenon, what are your hopes for this song moving forward in the world?
Well, first of all, thank you. That's like very high praise. Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting to call it a cultural phenomenon because it's like, I'm definitely not saying a new thing, but it's really cool that it's in like a commercial place right now. Like, I don't think you hear that kind of stuff in the media much. You just hear it kind of, there is a body positivity movement. So kind of just hopping on board something that's been said for so many years now, right? But like for my intention wasn't definitely not just like for Chelsea. It was like I do obviously have like over 11 million followers on the app, and most of those followers are girls Chelsea's age. So I never felt like I was in a place personally to talk about what I'd been through with my body and what I go through every day today, right? Like, because I am not in the best place to this day. I mean, I'm better than I was, right?
Sure.
Emotionally, but this was like the first time I felt I had a responsibility to use the platform and for girls like Chelsea and Chelsea herself and kids her age, because that's when it started for me.
Right.
Like getting all wrapped up in comparing my body to like super edited photos. One body type was all I got in the early 2000s, and I wanted that thigh gap. I was like eating ice cubes in the cafeteria, like as a snack. You know, I at one point it got really scary, and I was, you know, I'm naturally like, you know, over 120 pounds, right? But I was almost under 90 at one point, and it got like just terrifying, right? And I thought at the time I was like gorgeous. I was like, this is it. Like, I'm finally on track. And it's so sick to think that like I never felt beautiful in my skin. To this day, I don't.
Yeah.
It would be irresponsible of me to not say something and try to prevent that from happening to our next generation of little CEOs. So.
Absolutely. No, and very well said. And you know, as a female too, that grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, I saw the same imagery that you saw.
It's a weird time. That's a weird era.
It was a weird era, girl.
Yeah, I talk about a lot that's like a crazy era, actually. Like, if you think about it, you could, like, companies they could have included multiple body types and it had some level of diversity, right? But like, and still, you know, it could have been sexy. Like, they could have made lots of money. Like, you actually be marketing to more people that way, right? But absolutely. The one thing that's better and more of a moneymaker for very rich corporations than like love would be, you know, capitalizing on like pain and illness and insecurity. So that's where it like becomes. That's when Victoria's Secret went from a ballad in the studio to a pop punk, sarcastic, goofy song where I wanted to take it back. So I was feeling more angry when I was writing the lyrics. I wasn't like, it was like, I can't believe I just wrote Thunder Thighs out on paper. And that was like a thing that I was saying. And like, no way, like, this is so stupid. You're start Wikipedia, Googling like the actual CEOs of all these companies, not just Victoria's Secret. They're all just like these like
so many other ones.
Little old men like sketching out, here is the perfect body.
Yeah, it's almost like predatory, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and like,
not almost, it is.
and just so sad. Like, that's the only word I can really like describe like that time period of beauty standards. It's just you know, it was one thing, like you said, and also that one thing wasn't healthy. No, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe for some girls, like, and then it's no knock on girls who are like, I wrote that line, skin and bones with big boobs. And originally it's like funny, it was skin and bones and big boobs, right? And that and width were like very different to me, because like I found that every time I lost an insane amount of weight, like my boobs got smaller and smaller, right? Because like where I gained my weight,
always the first thing to go.
Right? Well, exactly. So every time I felt like I'm almost getting there, I'm like, well, wait, no, I'm not, because my boobs are not big enough. And it's like, you know, but that's me personally. But there are body types that are very skinny and thin, and they have big boobs, and that's beautiful too. The problem was that if only one body type is being sold and marketed and subliminally and not so subliminally, just kind of shoved in your face at all times as the idea that this is the beautiful thing, that's when you really start to like not want to be your body anymore. Like, and that's when you start to warp the idea of yourself, and you have this body dysmorphia, looking in the mirror and being like, all these things are wrong and not that. So it's I'm sorry you went through the early 2000s.
No,
at least it's a little different now. Like, that's
it is. Thank God. And luckily for me, I had a good support system around me, and you know, the self-esteem and everything. Like, there's always ebbs and flows with that. Like, there's definitely some insecurities that I still have, even you know, at 32 years old. Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's so special that you are putting this out there and using your platform to, you know, let everybody know, hey, like it's okay to be insecure about certain things, but know that this isn't the end all be all. And, you know, I feel like you're definitely creating an opportunity for not just young women, but young men too, to have positive, you know, body images and positive self-esteem.
And lift their sisters up and their mothers up, you know, like, or their daughters.
That too.
Yeah, no, that's another crazy one. Is like, I didn't even, you know, I posted for one reason, but people took it and made it their own. And I got all these like crazy stories that I'd never even, they didn't even cross my mind, you know, like there are so many men out there as well that like were told that they had to be masculine and couldn't express if they were feeling insecure about their body, you know, and they were told they had to have a 6-pack and this like V thing and you know, be muscly and macho. And that's just like also really messed up. Like, you know,
look at us just crushing beauty standards.
You know, and you know what? And here's the thing, though, it isn't really. I'm so excited to bridge some sort of a gap, right? But like, because there's this influencer thing, right? But we like didn't invent this. We are actually just on. There's already a movement, right?
Yeah.
The problem was I never would have gotten that, and neither would you at our age. I'm happy to hop on the movement, but I can't take credit for it. Like, that's literally been, people have been saying it for a long time. So
hey, but hopping on the train is totally fine too.
Good train to hop on. I'll take that.
I love that. And
quoting my therapist. Sorry, I never even actually gave my therapist royalties for this song, which he did.
No, that's good. I love it. That's so good.
Sorry, Deborah.
But so obviously the song took off on your TikTok, and your TikTok is so great. You have so many amazing videos on there. So many good ones with like your parents. It seems like you and your parents have a really great relationship.
It's chaotic, but we're very close.
What would you say the best advice that they've ever given you as mom and dad?
There's a couple of things. There's one that my dad drilled home, and it was just always the golden rule, like treat others the way you'd want to be treated. And that's actually applying like really hard in my life right now, because I'm all of a sudden randomly experiencing like fan interactions, and I'm having not always great days, you know, like I'm traveling a lot, and sometimes I can't even keep my eyes open. And sometimes it's just like to be this and awake and happy, like it's really not easy. But I remember like interactions I've had with some celebrities I looked up to that kind of really let me down and broke my heart about things. I don't want that to be the case. And I want to make sure that their experience with me is a nice one and a fun one, because I didn't want to be treated that way. So the golden rule is a big one.
That's good. That's a good one to pass on too.
It's a classic.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite videos though on your TikTok is the one where you got your wisdom teeth removed.
Look at it's still here.
Is it still there?
No, it's gone. No. It's not.
Oh,
it's actually out. Like the tooth is not. It wasn't wisdom teeth. It was actually a gnarly surgery. My root canal from when I was 12. Had been infected for a really long time into my face, and it was fractured in half, and they had to do an emergency tooth surgery. So it was like not just laughing gas, it was like full anesthesia. Like I went down, and they were like, Jax, you need to be like in New York in 2 days. You got a brand thing and this and that. And I was like, I'm going under.
I gotta get this thing out of my head.
They were like putting me on cold soup for like days.
No.
So yeah, no, I was
your reaction to like waking up to Selena Gomez and like wanting to be Selena's friend. Like I feel like a lot of women have felt that.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, has Selena reached out to you since that video?
I mean, not like we haven't like spoken personally, but she commented on it.
Oh, okay.
And she said, I adore you. And I just literally peed my pants in sheer embarrassment. And I was like, oh God, this is the first thing she says. Okay. One day we'll be friends, but oh God, why?
She'll remember. I think she's gonna remember that for a while. I would love to see like some sort of collaboration with you guys, whether it's one of those like sneaky TikToks that you do where you're like doing something and they hop in, or you know, maybe as a guest on her chef show that's coming out on Netflix.
That's a great idea. If my manager is listening to this, help her my label or something.
I'm gonna try and set that up. I know
would
you're
love to.
I know you're a big charcuterie fan. I was kind of stalking some of your other interviews, and you and I have that in common. So I think you should bring a charcuterie to Selena's chef show. Wouldn't that be great?
It would have to be that. Either that or like Kraft cheese macaroni and cheese. Because that's all I really know is charcuterie. It's my easiest thing.
You got to go to the good section in the grocery store for those cheeses.
That aged cheddar.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, I do want to play just a quick game with you before we hop off. It's called Love It or Leave It, the early 2000s trend, because I know you're a nostalgia fan, late 90s, early 2000s. But before we hop into that, what's next for you after Victoria's Secret? Do you have anything on the way? Is there anything we can look forward to?
Oh yeah, I have so many songs because it's really all I do all day. So I have a bunch that I'm like super excited about, like a bajillion that I wrote, and then out of that bajillion, like 1,000 that I'd be okay with people hearing, and out of that 1,000, I have like 10 that I love, right?
I love it.
So I'll have to narrow my children down and just say, okay, these are the babies.
Here's the best ones.
I hope. So yeah, I'd like to be on tour soon because I just want to meet everyone at this point. It's really
so definitely new music and the road.
And I want to meet you.
Yeah.
In my little shirt.
I know. I love that you're representing today. I'm so here for that. All right. So let's hop into this. Okay. So it's the Love It or Leave It, late 90s, early 2000s trends. Are you ready?
Are you ready, kids?
Bleached tips. Love it or leave it?
My brother had Sun-In.
Oh my god, I use Sun-In too. Jesus, that damaged the hair so bad.
Not great.
How about biker shorts?
Love it.
Yeah. Love it. Those have made like a resurgence.
I have them, 100 of them. Yeah.
Chain wallets.
I'm gonna say leave it, but fanny packs are good.
Okay, so leave the chain wallets, keep the fanny packs.
Yeah, okay.
How about bucket hats?
Oh, love it.
Love it. Leave it. How about boy bands?
Love it.
Yeah.
Totally. Love it forever.
This one is a little polarizing, okay?
Okay.
Cucumber melon body spray.
Oh, I'm gonna have to leave it. I'm not a big cucumber person though. I do like, I just got a hair in my mouth. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to leave it.
I remember that though. From
I do.
Bath & Body Works. It was like the juniper something and like the cherry blossom.
I'll say I love the hand sanitizers that were like flavored.
Okay, we'll love the hand sanitizers, but we'll leave the body spray in the early 2000s. How about disposable cameras?
Oh, love it. Have it everywhere.
T9 texting.
Leave it.
Now we can just like speak into our phones and tell.
Yeah, you know what? There's too many options for us now.
I was good at that though. Like in school, like I could like go underneath the desk and like not even think about it.
Yeah, it's bad for driving is the only reason I say leave it. Because I have bad habits with that stuff. So.
Okay, last one before we let you go. Polly Pockets.
Oh, love it. Are they back?
No, they're not back, but hopefully.
Well, at least I don't know. They're back, I have to say. So get your Tamagotchis. They're in stores now at a local Target near you.
Hey, there you go. Well, Jack, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I heard you might have a little treat for us to send you off with.
I can sing for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I said it like that.
Jack's everybody.
This is Victoria's Secret. Okay, it's happening. God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger that all bodies aren't the same. Photoshop itty bitty models on magazine covers told me I was overweight. I stopped eating. What a bummer. Can't have carbs in a hot girl summer. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, psst, I know Victoria's Secret, and girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up by. I wish somebody would have told me that thighs of thunder meant normal human thighs, and all the pressure I was under to lose my appetite and fight the cellulite games like every night. If I could go back and tell myself when I was younger, I'd say, hey, dummy, I know Victoria's Secret. And girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret with it. She was made up by a dude. Oh, she was made up by a dude. Victoria was made up. I know Victoria's Secret. And girl, you wouldn't believe she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. She was never made for me and you.
Yay, Jax! Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
so awesome. We appreciate you taking some time.
Thanks for letting me say boobs so much on your show.
Yes, absolutely. Good luck with everything. And next time you are in Louisville, let us know. 'Cause we gotta hang out. We gotta
hang out
meet
so
up.
you guys can roast me for saying Louisville.
Yeah.
And I love you guys, and I can't wait.
We love you, girl.
Love you, dude.
Have a good one.
You too. I mean, I don't even know how to leave this. Oh, how do I leave?
Okay,
You just exit out the
just exit, yeah.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks a
All
lot.
right. So let me end this.
Oh, so it ended up working out because I was gonna edit